Hi everyone, Dr. LaKeisha Cole here. Hey world, hope everyone's doing great today. I will get right to the point because I'm improving on my videos and I realize that they are a little bit longer than I want them to be. And I'm going to have to get to the point faster. So today and yesterday, I've spent the last 48 hours fairly sane, watching different YouTube videos and just getting a little bit more updated on things in the world that I wasn't really aware of. Because, as you grow, you get interested in different things at different times in life. When you have different relationships with people or different things happen in your life, you find that your interest shifts for different things as far as willing to do your research and get a little bit more educated. I do admit to my ignorance on certain topics just because they haven't been of interest to me and they haven't necessarily affected anyone in my family directly. So, you don't always try to get involved with things that do not affect people who you love or yourself. And my heart is just heavy with concern for the next generations. That's really what I've been concerned with just the last 24 hours. I've seemed a little bit restless about it, and everyone lives a different life, and people have different experiences, and the things that go on in the mind of one person are powerful. Your mind can tell you all sorts of things, and some way, shape, form, or fashion, it is what gets in your mind. It comes from something that you've seen. Something that you've seen, even maybe something that you've heard before you were even born. And, in the womb, you hear a lot about pregnant women listening to music or being in aggressive relationships or other things, other exposures as a pregnant person, and it passes on to the child. And I just think that with that, plus, entering the world and having the influences of your parents or guardians, it affects you in a way that sometimes it doesn't manifest until your 30s, your 40s, and beyond. And to just see what goes on in the minds of other people and to be open-minded and non-judgmental and really just listen. My heart goes out to some people who are struggling mentally with certain issues and topics, and the way that the world has to receive it, the way that family members have to receive it, it can be very challenging. And each party feels emotionally that, what's going on in their mind is easily accepted by the other person. Like, what's the big deal? I mean, what are you angry for? Why are you upset? Why are you sad? You really just don't understand. And they don't understand you. It's just something else, really. But I've been watching videos about just the direction. I don't really want to get into it. The direction of, the country, our families, all families. And the different things that every person and every family is facing, and how those issues really mean something to everybody, and how we have to understand that while we disagree and while we cannot always sympathize with other people and other families and their circumstances and situations, yet we still must care enough to be able to ensure that we can function together and coexist in society together and get along enough when we happen to be in the same space. And it just, sometimes it can sound so simple, like, oh, it's not a big deal, but it really can be a challenge for all of us. And it's not just me and my family or you and your family. It's the way that we interact in the world and how it affects all families. And these debates, and I'm just, this political correctness and the things that seem to be allowed and embraced and awarded nationally, while so many obviously visibly evident things that appear, maybe to me, I may be being judgmental just thinking it's visible because it's visible to me, and I'm sure it's visible to other people. But, some of these things that are going on in the world today. And my children are 22 and 18, soon to be 19 next month. And my heart, it goes out to the parents and to the children who are to come in this next generation, like people who have small children, parents and guardians who are doing their absolute best to take care of their children and raise children who are mentally stable, and the parents who have to ensure that they are mentally stable themselves, because they're the teachers. They're teaching their children. And oh my goodness, it's just so much going on. There is so much going on in the world, honey. Let me pause this for a minute. Yes, but I'm so full with what's going on in the world. But on another note, I'm hungry too. I have to get me something to eat. I think I'm going to have to go to Walmart when I get finished painting my nails, because I have been wanting some turkey dressing and cabbage, and I saw a really nice recipe online that I want to do. And also, like, I really eat really specifically. I eat really funny, and that's why I don't ever cook for other people, because I really eat for health more so than just, a great dish, or just trying to have a whole lot going on. I really don't prefer high fat, high sugar, high salt. And of course, we know that, that affects how food tastes. And, when I'm looking to be healthy or I'm working out really hard and I want results quickly, I don't have time for high fat, high sugar, high salt. It just doesn't work for me. I don't like the way that it makes me feel. I don't like the way that the way that it affects my body. I can visibly tell a difference very quickly. My energy levels are definitely different. My cravings for food, when I eat foods that have a lot of sugar in them, like other than, added sugar, not the natural content. You get natural sugar content percentage in various foods. And, some foods have a lot of sugar naturally. And so it gives them their sweetness. And then others have a little bit of sugar. And, so either sugar is added in that food or you buy it and you add sugar to it. And so I'm not, as I stated, I really care about my health. I've studied a lot of diseases associated with poor diet and physical inactivity. And, that's just something I just can't say that I totally ignore because, I can't ignore it. I've taught it. I have researched it. I have lived it for myself. And, I just really have a particular way that I eat. But, just like anybody, traditionally, growing up, you have, special dishes in your family, special holidays, and events where you eat certain foods, and majority of the food is high fat, high salt, high sugar, and it tastes fabulous. You just can't eat it every day. So, I definitely have my moments and I have those foods. I get to eat those foods, but I just don't eat them every single day. And I'm very physically active, so when I do eat them, you've seen my videos of me jump rope jogging and, working out. Like, I really, I'm physically active, highly. So, I can't say that, even if I do eat that way, I won't, be healthy or in shape and feel great because, I just don't eat that way enough. And, I definitely don't cook that way. When I cook my food, like I'll cook my meals and then we have our meals that we eat at home as a family. Because, I'm just real particular. Like, some days I'm not going to eat all that fat and salt and sugar, period. So don't even bring it my way. Like, and you can say what you want. But as long as I feel good, as long as my health panels are excellent, that's what I care about. And that's what it is for me. But anyway, like I was saying, it's just a lot going on in the world. And I have really been so concerned with, the children of tomorrow. And, some of the parents, the things that they face and the mental battles that sometimes they experience. that falls on their children when they're raising them, because, that's just how it goes. I'm dealing with a lot of stuff as a parent, and then when I'm teaching my children, it falls on them. And sometimes that can be in society accepted as a good thing. I'm speaking in general, not really for myself and my family, but in society, it's just a lot going on. I mean, it's a lot going on, a lot of pressures for, the parents, the children, the guardians, the schools, different things that, the schools are implementing because, research says this, and, government accepts it as this, and then we have to put those things into the world, to say, okay, well, we're trying to improve this community, or we're trying to reduce the burden of this particular outcome in the world or in this community. And it's just a lot, because people will always have differences, always have different opinions, and always have to still engage with each other. You may not hang out with someone, but you'll come across them, when you're out in the world doing your thing, when you're out eating, or when you're out playing, or you're going to come across other people, and what they believe and what you believe somehow is going to interact. And that's how you get good relationships, and then other relationships that seem to pose a threat to the world. It's just, it's a lot. It is a lot, and it has really been on my heart heavily these past 48 hours. And mainly, as I stated, because I have raised, along with my husband, 2 adult sons who are Air Force. They're taking care of themselves. They have not asked for anything from my husband and I since they left home. And, that's honestly, that's how they were raised. That's what they saw from us. And they just know that, whatever they do need, they don't have to hesitate to ask their father or me, because as a family unit, we are just, we're always going to work together to do what we have to do. We just have that kind of love for each other, through thick and thin. We are there for each other. And my heart goes out to families, children who don't feel like they get that from their parent or guardians, and parents who don't feel that they get that from their children. It's just, I mean, it's unfortunate. In some ways, it's, you have to understand it, because no household is perfect, no individuals are perfect. And that's something that you will see in my videos, in my books, constantly. Just, it's something that we all know. No one is perfect. We all say it. Some of us don't even admit that, but it's true. And yet, we go through society putting pressures on other people, and being forceful in society and selfish in such a way that, what you think and how you feel seems to be forced, or it appears that way. We all probably feel that way by others that we're forced or pressured into doing something that we really truly don't believe, and that our way is right to the world because it's right to us. But it's really just interesting. It is interesting. And like I said, without bringing up any specific topics, political things, there are just a lot of discomforts for all people when engaging in the world with other people and in other groups, and just making sure that we can live and play together safely and fairly, which, hey, when you look at everybody as a whole, there's no fairness, because you're always going to have someone who disagrees with what your views are, and you're going to always be in disagreement with someone somewhere, or some group, who doesn't believe what you believe. So, and we just try to be respectful and try to be kind and thoughtful and fair, but it just doesn't seem to work out that way. Somebody's always going to feel left out, somebody's always going to feel inconsiderate, misunderstood. And that's just the way of the world. We have to take one day at a time and try to be as loving and caring as we can be, and respectful as we can be, and just, respect our differences and keep it moving. But I wish everyone a wonderful day. I will be going to Walmart and then coming back here, doing my thing. But yeah, I just wish everyone a wonderful day. I hope you have a great week looking forward, and love, peace, and joy to everyone.